Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence. I'm your host, Miss Ronnie, where I always seek to give you exquisite cranial repertoire. This week, we have a very special guest. We have Swiflyfe. Say hello to everyone.
What's up? What's up? How everybody doing today? Blessings.
We're doing fine over here. So, what we're going to do is we're going to let you take over and let you tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Okay. My name is Swiflyfe. Man, I'm a artist originally born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. Man, I create music. I consider it music with a message. Man, music with a message, but also have a nice vibe behind it. Music that people can relate to. It's cool to hear all the violence, because people entertaining off of that, but it ain't always cool when it's happening to people that you know. So had to change the narrative a little bit and create music where you can actually vibe with your family in your living room instead of smacking your child in the mouth because he said the wrong word. You see what I'm saying? So I try to create that, and what helped me to create that type of music, what gave me that thought process to create that type of music is, my father was a Jehovah's Witness and couldn't bring rap around him because, like, when I was younger, I used to have to hide like my 3 6 Mafias, my Ice Cubes. You feel me? I used to have to hide those under my bed like if they was illegal. Because if my father seen them, he would snap them in half and throw them out the window. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to change it up to like, all right, let me make music that, music they can relate to without the cussing, out the violence, just to get his approval. And I found out that I was real good at it. It came real easy to me. And, everything else was history after that. So, you know what I mean? I'm making music, and I make music based on, things I'm dealing with in life. So, like, if I'm angry, then I'm gonna make a song that's gonna show the anger. If I'm frustrated, same way. Motivated, same way. Inspired. Those are the type of songs I make. So basically, my music is, in a nutshell, it's just my lyrical diary. Every song tells a little bit about me. In every song, you'll never hear me rapping about spinners and big wheels if I don't got it out there in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Never hear me rapping about big chains and tattoos, and you don't see nothing on my skin, and you don't see nothing around my neck. I don't do stuff like that, So
what would you consider your genre to be?
I consider my genre to be, I feel like that I'm a conscious slash life rapper. Because I feel like it's conscious because I make music where it actually inspires people, motivate people, but I'm a life rapper because, like I say, I talk about things that's going on in my life at the time. So I feel like...
Tell me about your latest single.
My latest single is called Kant Stress Mi. Right? It's called Kant Stress Mi. It's more like with a reggae vibe to it, something different. I try to tap into because I'm half American, half Jamaican. I never made never even attempted to make a reggae track. And all my brothers, got at me about that. Like, look, I like all this music you're making, but when you gonna make a music for our family to, rock and vibe too? So I made this track called Can't Stress Me. And it's basically saying that, some things that's there are automatically there. But you can't let them stress you because it's a health hazard. And some things, if you can't get to it, you can't get to it. So the song Can't Stress Me is basically like, for example, bills. Bills can be stressful, but they're not gonna go nowhere. You gotta pay them in order to live. Bill collectors can be stressful until you pay them. People can be stressful, but just because they can be stressful don't mean that you gotta let them stress you.
Right.
And that's what the whole vibe of that song. And I got pretty good feedback on that track. I'm ready to put a video together for it.
Did I give you feedback on that track?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
So tell me about what you think the state of hip hop is right now.
Say that. Repeat that for me one more time.
What do you think the state of hip hop is right now?
Right now, I just feel like honestly, it's evolving. It's evolving as the time go. It's definitely changed from what it originally was. Because the new genre, the new millennials coming in, and of course, new millennials coming in with new ideas. So it's constantly rapidly changing. But certain narrative that it was originally started for, I feel like it's slowly getting depleted. You know what I mean, it's more about, it's starting to be more about, you know what I mean, what's catchy versus the truth. I mean, back
Mm-hmm.
then it was more about the truth and how you feel and people that can relate to what was going on. But the truth now is about, like I say, it's about what sounds good, what rhymes, you know what I mean, and what catch people's attention. And I,
Okay. Great.
yeah, and I don't really agree with that, man, because I feel like that, like, and then people expose themselves like that because they'll be like, well, it'll be an interview, long line down the line, and the artist be like, well, no, that was just for promotion. I'm like, hold up, well, we were listening to that song thinking that it was real, and then found out that you
Mm-hmm.
only did that just to get the views and the, you know what I mean, the public opinion. That's not cool to me. I don't believe in ghostwriters and none of that. I feel like if you don't write your own, it's not legit. It's not legitimate. It's not official. If somebody else is writing it and handing it to you. But
Well, I got this. I'm going to disagree with that one.
I'm
And
old
the
school.
no, I'm going to disagree with that one because you cannot assume that everybody is where you're at. And although a person may have an idea up here, their weakness may be to get it on that paper. They may can perform it well. And a lot of times when you work with writers, they learn your personality and what will come across from you and to try to make it as believable as possible. So all the time, ghostwriters are just not spitting out songs. They're helping a person write a song or to formulate their conception. So I don't think that ghostwriting is bad at all times. Even like I had worked with an artist, has a beautiful voice, but to me her writing skills was not there. But she did have the concepts in her mind. So that would be a good collaboration with her to have a writer. So having a ghostwriter is not bad in all situations.
Okay, well, let me correct that then. A ghostwriter for me does not work because
Okay.
it's way difficult because I've been doing this and the way I built my concept on my own mind, my own opinion, putting it to paper. It's difficult for somebody to write something for me and for me to try to, you know what I mean, put that on my own words. It will never come out the same in my mind. So me personally, ghostwriting is not good for me.
And I'm going to tell you to have an open mind.
I do. Well, in the past, the ones that I've gotten in the past that I've tried, I had difficult with. So that's my pain on that. But
Because
who knows?
I think about that because
Oh, there's a lot of ghostwriters out here. Like, that's starting to be the new thing now. Like, and I just feel like it's because the artists got so much on their plate and so much on their schedule. Got to be here, fly there, fly there. They don't really have the time to sit down that whole hour, 2 hours to write a song versus somebody just sending them an email and they check it out when they need to. So I understand it's part of the, the process of keeping everything going on a steady flow. But me personally, I would prefer to write my own.
okay. Tell me about because I know you said you listened to 3 6 Mafia and that you're from old school and all that. Back in the day when I was coming, women in hip hop was respected. And they would tell you, I mean, like Queen Latifah, Moni Love, all these different rappers like that. What do you think happened in female hip hop from the Queen Latifah era up until now?
Okay, I feel like the women, as far as with the first as R&B, they was respected. They was speaking their opinion. It was emotional. It was real. It was legit. I mean, it was stories that they was telling about their life and their opinions. But somehow from then to now, it just went from, it's like the females start to get more, I don't know how to say the words. Like they started trying to be like more like the men. You know what I mean? Like on the rapping tip, grabbing they in between their legs, like they got something there. And it's just like the lyrics, everything changed from the lyrics, I guess, from the lyrics that they were spitting to the way they started dressing. You know what I mean? So it's like I feel like the female,
When did
like,
that happen?
say it again.
When did that happen?
When did it happen? Honestly, I just feel like over time, I'm guessing it has a lot to do with. I mean, some experiences that they went through and decided to deliver it a different way. And then it started off with like when Rod Digger came out, and with her attitude, beat that chick with a bat, and you know what I mean. And then it started to get more aggressive, but then it started to be catchy. So they realized that, you know what, this is a vibe. People started to like to see a woman not only just singing and expressing herself, but they like to see the anger part of her, the aggression in her as well. And that's what started to sell and started to push. And then it went from that. It's like it's constantly elevating. It's constantly elevating. And now it's the point where, I mean, no morals. I feel like the morals is starting to get depleted. Like they don't care. Like before, you used to feel like you was naked when you had something on that was too tight, or you constantly walking, pulling it down. Now you trying to find the smallest, the skimpiest, the most see-through, the most seductive thing you can find. When your intention is not even to seduce nobody, it's just for show. It's just for show, and it's just for comments and likes. And I mean, over time now, the newer generation females that's coming out singing and rapping, that's the area, that's the route that they coming out at. Is they coming out with this aggression? They coming out with this.
Do you think that's commercialized rap, or do you think that that's the trend now? Because I think that, well, I used to teach a class, and what we taught was you get more of what you pay attention to. So if you pay attention to these violent and sexual um, lyrics and videos and everything, and they start shooting up to the top, that's what everybody else is going to try to do. Do you think, because traditionally I think that women in hip hop was very authentic. I think hip hop was authentic to begin with, very authentic. And it's like, yeah, it evolved, but what shaped the evolution of the disrespect, the tight clothes, uh, I don't all those different things, and I mean just the looseness with the sex and everything. I don't think people even now they'll get married and still have open marriages. I mean, so do you think hip hop now is like representing much more negativity than positivity? Because it started out with positivity, but it's like you can barely even pick out 10 commercial artists that keep that positivity going. It's like it's all negative.
Right. And I do. I believe that. I definitely believe that that's what they promoting now, because, like you said, that's what catchy. That's what people is tuning into, and it shows that your numbers would be a lot higher if you're rapping about guns and drugs versus rapping about bringing everybody together. And it's to the point where now certain labels that you get with, that's what they're going to promote. That's what they're going to turn their artists into. They're going to tell you need to go get tattoos. If you're a man, they're going to tell you you're going to have to go dye your hair. You're going to have to go, like, you can't be no plain artist rap and be a rapper and be a gangster rapper. You're going to have to join some type of gang. It's like, these are the things you got artists rapping and saying, like for instance, you got Cardi B saying, if you're not gang, you lame. So now people think that gang is a good thing. When you got people like NBA YoungBoy with guns in his videos, so now people think coming up in videos and TikTok is cool to have a gun in their videos. So I definitely believe that before, when it first started out, it was positive, it was inspiring, and it was motivational. Now it's definitely just negative, and some of it even disrespectful. I ain't gonna lie. Some of it just literally just like, how did it even get played? Because it's not promoting nothing.
Because it's business.
Yeah. It's not in this. And what people don't understand is when you in that limelight, that people are looking at things that you say and things you do, it matter. Like, especially in Beyonce, you feel me? I feel like a lot of people, like, to the point where they basically like worship her. You know what I mean? And it's because of all the years she's been in the industry, the different things she have done, and she built that following. So a lot of people don't understand that when you in that limelight, you got people, whether they're young or old, that actually admire you, and to the point where they might even want to try to dress like you. If you're saying that you don't wear Jordans, I mean, when that whole thing had happened and people was burning up their shoes because because the whole problem was going on, you know what I mean? So people don't understand like the effect is just bigger than just you being on camera. Like you actually representing a bigger crowd of people than you don't even have a clue of. You see what I'm saying? So when you promote certain things and you say it's okay, they're listening to them like, all right, cool, that's okay. We can do it this way. And if you say something that is not okay, then you got people that's going to do the same thing, vice versa. They're going to listen to what you're saying. And I feel like that had a lot to do with the turnaround of the hip hop community that we are in now. It's because of rappers are the new dictionary, basically. Like they make up words and then people out here saying it. You know what I mean? They putting their own definitions behind it and people just running with it. You know what I mean? So,
you're not the only one. Remember Kofefe?
huh? Yeah.
Remember Kofefe?
Yeah. It's too many of them. Some of them are like, what does that mean? You just heard it because Kevin Gates said it, or you just heard it because Moneybag Yo said it. So now that they constantly saying it, now you're saying now we got ops out here now. You know, look, it took me a while to realize what an op was. I was like, yeah, ops. I'm like, that's your enemy? Is that your opponent?
Your opposition. It's your opposition.
Yeah. It was confusing to me because I had to catch up with some of the lingos too, and I was like, okay, that's what we doing today. You know what I mean?
So tell me, what do you think about the YouTube streets? I always tell artists that bloggers and people who review music and all those different places and avenues are very important to artists. Right now, there's a big, just mess on YouTube involving one artist, and it's not because of her music. And bloggers can make or break you. What do you think about these YouTube streets, and not only just the YouTube streets, social media platforms, and how artists can slip into something that has nothing to do with the music and have all these social media beefs and everything? The bigger celebrities, they say stuff on Instagram, on Twitter, and have Twitter beefs and all that. So what do you think about particularly the YouTube streets? Because people actually make videos. Social media, a lot of it is just tweets or posts or something like that, but you can actually do damage with a video. So what is your take on artists getting involved in social media beefs, and how do you feel like it helps or hinders their career?
Well, I honestly feel like that's a dangerous route to go because YouTube is good for promoting videos because you got almost everybody has YouTube. Even if you're not on it, your phones come with it. So everybody has access to YouTube, and it's just all about, in order to get the good feedback and the actual views, it's a consistent thing. Like you gotta constantly, you can't just put on there one day and then don't hop back on there for the rest of the year. It's something that you gotta keep constantly promoting. So it's like a job. You gotta constantly promoting it in order to get the feedback that you want. But as far as like with the beefing, I feel like some rappers intentionally do that just to get that buzz because, like what we was talking earlier, negativity and sex is what sells. So somebody that's talking trash and beefing against this person gonna have a lot more eyes on them versus somebody that's just sitting at their job, doing their work. So, but then it's to the point where people don't have sense of humor like that no more. Everybody's so serious. Everybody's so, like pride stricken. It's a pride thing now with a lot of people. Like, who you think you talking to? You don't even know that person, but who you think you talking to? So it goes from this arguing back and forth to the point where it gets so heated. I look at the one guy, he was arguing with the guy on Facebook, I think it was on Instagram, and it got to the point where he said, man, you can pull up. And he gave him his address. He said, I'm on my way home, meet me there. And they met him there and they killed him. Like as soon as he passed it, he sent it, and 2 hours later he was dead. So
that is crazy.
Yeah. So it's a dangerous game. It used to be back in the day, it was like, if Jay-Z considered the great, but you feel like that you got good music and you mean that your flow is good too, what you would do was you would challenge him. You would challenge him because that would give you a chance to show your truth, and that would give him a chance to defend his truth. And it could be a hit or a miss. you might break even. I mean, he might still win, but at the end of the day, you still got a lot of people, a lot of notifications, a lot of views because yeah, you might have lost to him because he's the great, but you didn't lose by far. Take everything to heart now, and I feel like that's the reason why it's the way it is now. Like I said, it's a dangerous game because it can make you, like you said, it can make you or break you. I mean, you do it the right way and consistently and constantly keep dropping good material, you're gonna get the views, you're gonna get the people commenting, and before you know, you go viral. And the same way you fighting and arguing against somebody that you've never seen, but then you get to the point where now you go do a show, and of course, when you do a show, it's like people, they argue with people and then they post where they're gonna be at. And then they pull up and shoot you in the dang on seafood restaurant, or they'll shoot you at the Waffle House. You know what I mean? Or they'll kill you, or they'll shoot at you at your concert. I mean, but it all came from you saying that I'm better than you, or you saying I didn't like the last word on your song, or you need to do that song over. Stupid stuff like that. So I feel like the media definitely plays a part in that. But it's a hit and miss. But it's a dangerous game when you trying to go that route to purposely, intentionally beef with somebody just to be able to get your views and your numbers up. Because not everybody has a sense of humor and gonna take everything you say on the chin. Especially if you don't know a person. Like, yo, you don't know me. Automatically right then and there, it's already a negativity. It's a negative vibe right there. Because who you talking to? You don't know me. You don't know nothing about me. Well, I don't need to know nothing about you. Blah 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 blah. Next thing you know, pull up then. Pull up then. It's a lot of internet gangsters, and then there's a lot of real gangsters. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's a dangerous game. That's my take on it.
Okay. Well, I thank you for coming. I want you to give everybody, I'm going to say some words of encouragement. Tell everybody the latest single, where they can find it at, and your social media handle.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna say, if you're an artist of any sort, with any kind of talent, don't never let nobody discourage you from pursuing that. Just because that person think that has their own opinion on something, that's not your opinion. Go with your heart, and at the end of the day, if you stay true to it, it will fan out. It will fan out in the end. It's because somebody say you can't make it over there. Don't listen to that until you at least try to attempt to make it over there. To me, and that's my positivity on that. Because from experience, people told me there's a lot of things I couldn't do, and I've done it, and now they quiet. So that's my take on that. As far as my new single, "Can't Stress Me," the main it's spelled Cyan, stress me, because it's spelled in the patois Jamaican form. So it's Cyan, stress, STRESSMI is me. So it's "Can't Stress Me," and you can find it on all streaming platforms from Pandora to iHeartRadio. And you can find me as well on all platforms under my name, Swiflyfe, SWIFLYFE, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. If you go on my TikTok, go select one of my songs and make a video to it. Tag me in it. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, you never know. Networking is always there. I'm always willing to collab and network with people, with like-minded individuals. I mean, I appreciate you having me on your show. Much love and respect to you as well.
Hey, much love and respect to you. Well, y'all heard him. You can find him on all streaming platforms. You can find him on social media networks at Swift Life. If you are going to do a TikTok to one of his songs, you can tag him in it. Make sure you follow him. Remember, you can find us on all podcasting platforms, iHeart, Pandora, Spotify, all those places. You also can find us streaming live on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, LinkedIn, and you also can find us on rpentradio.com, where you will hear Swift Life's latest single, In the Freedom Mix. And we will see you next week. Thank you for coming. Bye. Hey, it's me, Miss Ronnie, the host of Indie Artist Music Hustle with Blonde Intelligence. We now have expanded our platform to include RP Entertainment Radio out of Dallas. That's right, in addition to the podcast on Spotify, iHeart, Apple, Pandora, and live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, and more, now Indie Artist Music Hustle is part of the Freedom Mix every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on rpentradio.com. The show includes interviews with indie artists and other entertainment professionals, as well as artist reviews. The artist interviewed or reviewed music will be featured in the Freedom Mix. To schedule an interview or submit for a review, visit www.blonde-intelligence.com or email submissions@rpentradio.com. Blonde Intelligence is a registered trademark.